It happened again today. I kept falling. I had to fight the urge of not opening my eyes to look out until I reached the bed. Terrified. Some man told me not to open my eyes. I can't resist but open them and look. I want to look and see what's out there, but when I land on the bed and I open my eyes, I see nothing but darkness. Nothing but darkness. And I hate it. What's out there? What keeps happening? What happens when I open my eyes? I'm trying to get answers. I wanted answers. I need answers. I went back to the coffee shop today. I thought, maybe the man will be back there again. It's possibly, maybe. And I stayed there for 4 hours, and then I finally decided, you know what, this man is imaginary. I must have imagined him up, and the odds of me finding him here, if he was real, are 1,000,000 to 9. So I was about to leave, and then I was so busy thinking about how he wasn't real, and how disappointed I was that he wasn't real. It was a part of my imagination, that I bumped into someone, and I turned to look, and there he is, and he's right there, and this time I spilled his coffee all over him, and I look at him, and I'm like, I am so sorry. I tried to help him clean up off his shirt, which is nice and white, which is now dripping with coffee, and I look at him, and I'm like, can I buy you another one? I'm so sorry, do you want to talk again? I have so many questions. And he's like, I don't have time today. And he bolts out there, out of the shop into Main Street, and runs down the street, and the crowd is just partying like it's no big deal, like, oh yeah, this is a running man, whoosh. And I freeze for a moment, and I realize that he's real. Like, he's legitimately real. He was right there in front of me, and the crowd noticed him and just parted for him out of the way, just for him. And I noticed, and I thought, and I needed answers. I need answers. So I ran after him, and I came to this alley because I saw him turn to the left, and it just barely saw the back of his head as he turned. And I ran after him. Well, I've walked because I'm fat and I can't run. But I ran to the alley, and it was empty. Completely and utterly empty, except for this blue police box. And I'm like, this is America, not England, so, I mean, that's not possible that there would be one here unless, some weirdo decided, hey, let's make a police box in the middle of nowhere. So, like, okay, and then I circled around it, and I looked up all over the place and tried to find him, but he wasn't anywhere. So I'm like, well, he must be in the police box. I mean, isn't that what people do, is go in police boxes, and maybe it's a weird hobby or something. But I need answers, so I just shouted I needed answers. And he's like, answers? And this is for what? And it was him. I looked around, his voice came from everywhere, and it was so, it was so crazy, and I couldn't take it. So I was like, I need answers for the falling. And he's like, what falling? And I tell him, I'm like, the falling when I sleep. And he's like, you're not falling, you're floating. How does he know that? Floating. How can someone be floating? I asked. And there was no answer, so I was like, where are you? And he tapped me on the shoulder, and it was actually behind me. How he got behind me, I have no idea. I'm guessing my police server runs TARDIS me. TARDIS. Is that what he called it? Is that what they called it, the box? TARDIS. It was a strange name for something. It was weird, but I'm like, I like British things, so I'll just, maybe that's what they call it over there, the TARDIS. I don't know why, but I was okay. And so he's like, okay, off you go. After I go where? And he says, back home. I'll come over tonight. So he's going to be coming over tonight, and he doesn't even know where I live. So the possibilities of me finding him again are a million to one. And I blinked, and I was back here. Right here, in front of this camera. I blinked. And I was back home, like nothing ever happened again. I don't understand it. When he saw me, when he looked at me, it wasn't like he knew me from before. He looked at me like calm, like, who is this chicken? What does she want me? I want answers. It's scaring me. Nothing is worse than seeing pitch darkness. Darkness. There's nothing but darkness. What is going on? Why am I floating? Why are people floating? And why was there screaming? There's always screaming at night. In my head, hundreds of thousands of people screaming in my head, yelling, help me. Or some other weird cry of needing assistance. What is going on? Why do I keep falling? What am I falling to? Or in this case, floating, as he said. What happens when you open your eyes while you're falling? What happens? I have to know. I need to know. I'm scared. I need to help these voices. They're still ringing. I can hear their cries. It's all good though. Tomorrow I'll find him again and I will get answers this time. I'm so terrified. I don't know what to do. I need to find him again. I need to find him again.